Almost all of my bows are takedown. I like to use metal sleeve system. This method is very durable and does not make a weak spot on the bow. It is super easy to assemble and disassemble the bow. But it was very difficult to align the bow perfectly until I discovered this method, so let's dive into it. You can use anything from water pipes to furniture legs. It's just important that smaller pipe fits perfectly into the big one. I like to use pipe with diameter of about 30 to 35 millimeters. We also need to build this simple jig. It's just two pieces of melamine glued in a 90-degree angle. For this method we also need a 90-degree angle in the bow riser. The riser also needs to be perfectly flat so it can fit in that jig. I like to cut pipe to about 80 millimeters. The smaller pipe is cut to 40 millimeters, which is half of that main pipe. Now I put smaller pipe into the big one and squish it with vise. We can use a piece of wood to push out the smaller pipe. If the fit is too tight, we can sand it a little bit. Now I'm marking where the takedown system will be on the bow riser. Using belt sander, I sand the riser to the lines. Now the bow is ready to be cut in half. I like to glue this piece of G10 to protect the exposed layers. Now I'm tracing the shape of the pipe to the bow. I will try to do as much work as I can with the belt sander and then continue with the hand tools. The trick here is to make loose fit, so the tenon can spin a little bit in the socket. That way, when we put clamps, the bow will align automatically. This is the perfect fit. Always try how it fits before actually glue up. This is perfect. Now I'm using hacksaw blade to scrape the inside of the pipe so epoxy can stick better to it. Clean everything really well with acetone. I'm using 5-minute epoxy to temporarily fix bow to the pipes. I'm gluing just upper part of the tenon. And later I will pour the thin epoxy resin to fix everything permanently. You can use 5-minute epoxy to completely fix this, but I find that thin epoxy resin will fill gaps better. Now clamp the bow really well to this jig and let it dry. As we apply the clamps, the bow will align automatically. I forgot to mention that it's important to cover the jig with tape so epoxy won't stick to it. Now we can remove the clamps and remove the bow from the jig. Now it's time to mix the thin epoxy resin and fill the gaps. Now the takedown system is finished. Now we can clean the excess epoxy and build up the handle. As you can see, the bow is perfectly aligned with no twists. I will not include the handle build-up process here because I have a lot of videos about that, so you can check it. I hope you find this useful. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.